So, hi everybody, welcome back. I have a wonderful, very special guest with me today, Chellie Cameron. She is the CEO and president of the Greater Philadelphia Chamber of Commerce. Before that, she was the head of the Philadelphia Airport. Before that, she has just a terrific resume, but she also served our country in the Air Force. And on behalf of all of us, thank you again, Chellie, for your service. I know we say it to you, but we really, truly mean it. And so before we start, I'm just going to ask Chellie, as you all know, a quick question, but I decided to do this series because I felt it was important for all of us to empower each other. These are tricky times, no matter what side of the aisle you're on. And it's important for us to empower and uplift each other. And so I have a very select group of leaders who are answering some very simple questions. And really, the first question for you, Chellie, is what was that moment when you decided to bet on yourself? And I'm sure there were many moments, but what was that defining moment? I'd love everybody to hear from you, given your unbelievable, diverse, and impressive background. How did you decide to bet on yourself?
Yeah, you say it's an easy question. I don't know if it's so easy. It- because it makes you think back to a time when maybe you weren't betting on yourself. And so, I guess when I think about that question, what I look back to is when I was working at the Washington, D.C. airports, and I was in the finance function, and I, had done some amazing things in the Air Force and at the D.C. airports. And I thought I had a pathway to be CFO at the DC airports. I mean, I thought it was clear. I had taken a job, I was running strategy, financial strategy for the organization, and I just thought it was going to happen. And then all of a sudden, it wasn't. They brought somebody else in to be the deputy CFO when I thought it was a job that I was qualified for. They were pathing him to be the CFO, and all of a sudden I felt adrift. And it's just that really scary feeling when you're thinking, oh, I thought I had it figured out and I didn't. And all of a sudden I got a call when I was in the middle of that downward spiral. You know what I'm talking about, Sue. And it was about a job in Philadelphia. And I thought, Philadelphia? Why would I want to go to Philadelphia? And I had people at DC say, oh, well, it sounds like it would be an amazing job. It was to be the CFO of the airport in Philadelphia. And I think it might be an amazing job, but you don't want to go to Philadelphia. And I really started to think about it. And then I said, you know what? I have the skills. I can do this. I've been all over the world. I've lived in Turkey and Alabama and all over. I can do this. So I decided to use a phrase, hold my nose and jump. And I went for the interview. I learned more about the job, found that I loved it, and was ultimately offered it and took the job. And that was a turning point for me in my career and my life. When I came to this city that I've grown to love, it was just incredible.
We should rename this series Hold Your Nose and Jump instead of betting on yourself. But I'd love that story because what you're saying is it didn't go so well for you. So you had to like almost double bet on yourself to do something, kind of risky. You had to get up and move and take a new job and like, can I do this? So I love all of that. Tell me something. So, you know, to our listeners here, like, how does that empower them? And how have you used those lessons, quite frankly, to empower others who, have gotten knocked down, right? And trying to lift themselves up and move forward. What do you think?
I've spoken to a couple groups of young people, high school, college age folks, and I talk about three things really. The first is that you have to be prepared for those moments. So, go finish your degree, go take that class, get to know somebody that you don't know, lean in and make new friends, go to a new city. You have to prepare yourself. You have to understand what the opportunity is sometimes, because not all opportunities look like opportunities. Sometimes they look like those jobs that you really don't want to take. And then again, it's that hold that moment and jump, hold your nose and jump moment. And I think everybody has it in their power to do that, to take advantage of any kind of opportunity that's in front of them, to prepare, take the job that may not look like an opportunity that nobody else wants, because ultimately you're going to learn things that will help you with the next thing. And then when you're scared and you're afraid you'll never make new friends and build up relationships like you have before, and move to a new city where you don't know your way around, and just do it. Just do it. Reach deep down inside and find the courage.
Chellie, I love what you said about fears and opportunities. And as you know better than anybody else, when I was asked to be chair of the Greater Philadelphia Chamber Board, it was a fantastic opportunity, but I was kind of scared. You know, first woman in 20 years, could I do it? COVID hadn't quite hit yet, but it was a big challenge. I was filling really big shoes of important people in the city. And I don't know if I was relatively unknown or not, but regardless, it was tough. So I totally get your point about sometimes you just have to like believe in yourself and jump in and get it done. So thank you for sharing your story.
Oh, Sue, that's a great example. That's a terrific example where you just push the fear aside and
Mhm.
you plow in, and
You
what's the worst that could
try
happen?
to push it aside.
Yeah, I know.
Mm.
It's still there. Did I ever tell you the story about when did Toastmasters? I used to be afraid of public speaking,
Mm.
and I was in the Air Force at the time, and they told me the fear never goes away. You just learn, you'll always have butterflies in your stomach. You just learn how to make them fly in formation.
Perfect way to end our chat. So great to see you.
Good to see you too, Sue.
All right.